It probably wasn't until about 5 years ago when I actually was able to get involved with the United Way program that I was able to have my eyes opened a little bit to what the organization is and what they do. And what I found, or what I saw, was that not only is it a really well-run organization, but it's an organization that knows what it is. For somebody like me, that's really important, and it's one of the reasons that I feel good about giving my time and my money to the United Way.
They do so many great things for our area, for families and for kids, that donating is my way of supporting what they do and being involved in it a little bit.
The United Way is a great organization, and I choose to donate to the United Way because it's the right thing to do. I have 4 little kids at home, and I'm trying to teach them to be caring and compassionate people. So no matter what you can do, whether it's donating a small amount, a large amount, volunteering, everything is going to make a difference.
I've had the opportunity to volunteer for several United Way events, the School Supply Drive and the Day of Caring in the Fargo-Moorhead area. I think what you begin to see when you do these things is what needs the community has. United Way does a great job of bridging that gap, and they provide support to so many organizations that need it. To me, supporting United Way is really key to having a healthy community.
When I think about the word homelessness, a lot of different images come to mind. I think a lot of the standard words are addiction, abuse, neglect.
Or they're being lazy and they aren't trying to help themselves.
You kind of wonder what they're thinking as far as what kind of life that is. Why would you want to live like that?
Someone lying on a bench that is dirty and is hungry.
I never know if those are the people that try to take advantage or they actually are in need. And so personally, I am very torn.
You say, well, go get a job or go do this. It's so easy to just say something or judge someone.
Helpless is probably the word that comes to mind when you see them standing on the side of the street.
I think about myself. I could be in that situation. Sometimes I think, why are they there? What's the root cause?
You might be somebody who's very successful and working really hard, and maybe your health changed and left you unable to work, and you can't control that.
A lot of time people just need help for a couple months.
That person that comes through the door that might be looking for help, this may be their very first attempt at that. And it's hard.
Walking out of a homeless shelter and just being a fresh start, where do you start? As far as feeding myself, clothing myself, getting back into the workforce.
What you have to do, I think, as a caring society, is try to find a way to remove those barriers and those impediments.
We need the transitional housing to help people not to fall back into homelessness.
And then there's more confidence there, which then relates to I'm gonna go out, look for a job, my kids are in school, I'm a productive citizen in our town that's paying taxes. So that's all that ripple effect.
I'm a workforce development case manager, and I recruit individuals to go through different training programs that we've partnered with M-State and the United Way with to help individuals that are in poverty or low income to lift them up into a livable wage and develop their job skills.
Lakes and Prairies have these programs and can help get you a career going, and that's how I met Amy. I was incarcerated, and when I got out, I didn't have anything. I was trying to stay focused on not violating and going back to prison, trying to find a job and trying to get an apartment. So I started looking for jobs, getting the doors slammed in my face, door after door after door after door. Pretty much I gave up. And I seen that brochure at Lakes and Prairies on it. It had the welding program on it. And I was just looking at it, I was like, oh, Lakes and Prairies, what the heck?
So the first time I met Eric I actually was done taking applications for the welding course. The day before, I said I can take one more application.
Probably like an hour, half an hour or something like that, she called. And she told me I got approved. And I was like, really? I got excited.
From that day forward, he was there every day. He was working a part-time job at one of the facilities here in town, a restaurant in town, and doing that after he got out of this 8-hour welding course. And then he'd go home after work at 11 o'clock at night and try to do his homework.
Sometimes I didn't get to bed till like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning.
He struggled through the whole course, and he kept telling me, he said, Amy, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can finish this.
She just kept encouraging me. And next thing you know, it was pretty much at the end of the course, and I was still there.
And after he completed it, he said, I'm going to be looking for jobs. I'm going to apply everywhere. And he has a felony on his background. Every time he went and applied, people will see that check mark and not even call him up. I said to him, I'll take a day and I'll set aside 3 or 4 hours and we'll drive around and we'll drop off applications and resumes. And 2 days later, he was called for an interview, and a day after that, he was offered a job. And now I'm getting him into an apartment that's way better than what he is in for his 18-month-old daughter and his fiance, who hasn't seen in over a year. He never met his baby girl because he was in prison at the time.
When Eric met Aria for the first time, the feelings for me were exciting and exhilarating.
Liz introduced me to her, she just right off the bat, huge smile, and she just came to me, kind of teared up. I tried to be a man not to show it.
They bonded, and
I'm so happy they're here. Every day I wake up.
I think she brought life back into him.
So now I got something to really, really fight for.
He's supporting them. He has a vehicle. It's a night and day difference.
Amy to, stick with me this close and tight, I didn't ever expect it.
When you can have someone that's almost on the street to moving into a 2-bedroom apartment and has his family under the one roof, there's good.
I didn't believe there was good people out there like that. And I guess I was proved wrong.
Changing the stereotypes is going to be dependent upon people getting involved, because all of a sudden it's not just homeless people, right? It's Paul, it's Frank, it's Mary, it's these people that you know, and when you make those connections, it becomes much more real.
First place it starts is being sympathetic towards them and see yourself in their position. You may not be in it at the time. You don't know what tomorrow brings.
You have so much to offer this world when you're only given that opportunity, but somebody has to reach out for you to help you.
It goes back to people need to take care of people, and people have to have a want and desire to make a change. Otherwise, nothing will ever change.
I think people need just to open their minds a little bit more and kind of try to see the other side.
People deserve the chance to improve. They deserve the chance to be better than they were yesterday. And so to have access to programs or support to get them to the programs they need is one of the things United Way does very well.
When you give to United Way, you reduce hunger and homelessness and help lift people out of poverty. You also prepare students to be successful and help people to be independent. Those are all great goals that any community should want to achieve.
If we work hard to accomplish things in our community that benefit people around us, then we have a better town. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Giving back is gonna make it so much stronger, and giving people pride because it's their community, it's your community, it's our community.
All of us want to be an immediate help, but I think sometimes it's not possible, but there are ways we can do it.
The United Way is such a great example of a force for good, because it's not only a small financial donation by many, but it's also the concept and the idea of improving the lives in the community.
I am a force for good.
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 Be a force for good.
Be a force for good.
Only when we work together are we a force for good.